Hey everybody. Happy Friday. Today is July 5th, the day after July 4th. It is 9:17 a.m. in the Bronx, New York City. I don't know how many degrees it is outside, but I know that I went outside for a Dunkin' run and I bought a large caramel craze from Dunkin' Donuts. It was kind of hot and warm outside and pretty humid. So I came in, said, let me go live and speak to my people and see how my people doing and how are they recovering from their July 4th. I don't celebrate July 4th. I always hated it ever since. I know a lot of people like, "So you hate everything, Bronx girl." That is true. I hate things that I don't take interest in. Good morning, Lois Williams. How are you? Lois, good morning. How you doing? How was your July 4th? Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw the title, but we'll get into the title in just a tad bit. I just wanted to say hello and, you know, greetings to everyone and hope everyone enjoyed their July 4th, even though I don't celebrate July 4th, not for any um, political or reasons. I just don't have an interest in July 4th. It's not the same as it used to be. People have their cookouts and they monitor you. You can't even be free to eat what you want to eat, and they expect you to come and help them clean up and set up and all this bullshit that a guest shouldn't have to do. You know. So yeah, I stayed home with Zachary. He was chilling on his tablet. He was loving it too. He had his little headphones in. I was watching TV, browsing through the internet to see what I'm going to talk about with my beautiful people. Hi, Sonny. How are you? Good morning. Yeah, so I just stayed and chilled, and then I was just browsing, looking at some people lives celebrating July 4th. I'm like, that's nice, that's interesting, but I just don't have the interest in July 4th. It doesn't really mean anything to me, but it means a lot to other people. So I'm here today to welcome you all. And we'll just have an open discussion about, it's Freestyle Friday. And Freestyle Friday, we talk about what we want to talk about and who we want to talk about. But this live is a little bit different. I was watching before I get into who I was watching, yeah, I just was like, let me just try to do something different with my listeners in the audience and the supporters, subscribers, whoever like to listen in and get a different perspective on things. This is a preview of what I will be doing on my other channel, Insight and Perspective with Bronx Girl. I'll talk about lifestyle relationships. So I figured that I'll give everyone a preview of what is to come on the live, on the other channel. If you're not already subscribed, I already got a decent amount of subscribers. I could go live and talk my shit. Good morning, Lasagna. How are you? Are you recovered from July 4th? So yeah, I sometimes it's like kind of, hi, good morning, Carolyn. How you doing? It's early for us. It's 9:20. I was gonna go live later, but my analytics algorithms say this is the least amount of viewers you would get around this time. My viewers pick up around like in the evening time after hours. I'll try to at least make an effort to go live at night, just to, but I know a lot of my viewers and subscribers and supporters work. So I'm here because y'all drive to work, y'all clean up, you cook. Not to say that this is what you only do, but for the people that drive to work and listen to me from work and cook and clean and just running or doing extra activities, walking, just relaxing. This is the podcast live for you. Hey, you didn't do nothing to me either. I just chilled. I was saying that I don't like July 4th. Listen, I was lying in my bed last night. They had fireworks going on. It sounded like, more than fireworks. It just sounded like too heavy for me, like all night. That was just so heavy. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I slept through it. Like I slept through that, what is it called? Earthquake we had a couple of months ago. I slept through the fireworks. So good morning, Whitlow. It's a nice crowd in here. I'm not too uptight or too concerned about how many come in here. But if you come in here, you are welcome. Everyone is welcome. This is an open discussion, and um, open live for anyone to share their thoughts and feedback however you see fit. But we could get started. Oh, I know you saw the title. I'm gonna narrate because I feel like I have some ideas for my channel on the other channel, and that everyone can support each other in their own little way on that channel. We're gonna still take this channel is preserved for me talking shit about content creators, but it's boring on this side, it's whack on this side. Nobody has been doing anything. Good morning, Miss LB. Happy 62nd birthday to you. Wow. That's amazing. Everyone, let's say happy birthday to Miss LB. Today she turned 62 years old. That's a beautiful age. Wow, you're still young. I feel special that I have women in their 60s, 50s, 70s in my live listening in, giving me their support. So happy birthday. You're welcome. Thank you. You are so welcome. I appreciate you sharing that with us. I a lot of things I have to do with my channel, like you do giveaways, and I prefer to do giveaways behind the scenes because it's even though I have to put on a performance and show that, oh, I want to get more supporters, I want to gain more supporters, but I'm a little bit different behind the scenes with giving away stuff or just being a little bit more generous. But yeah, happy birthday, Sonny says to Miss LB. Happy birthday, Carolyn said to Miss LB. Big ups to the women, the beautiful women in their 60s, just living life. Not just living life, but I heard when we as women turn 60, become 60 or turn 60, it comes a little bit easier. So I hope Miss LB is enjoying her day. And you're a Cancer. Oh, shout out to the Cancers. Not that you subscribe or prescribe to astrology, but just for fun. So yeah, I was you walk. Oh, she said, "Thank you, everyone." Yes, we share the love over here. That's what we're supposed to do. So I know y'all saw the title. I'm gonna narrate in a few moments because I was watching. It says narration of how to make baked mac and cheese, and everyone is welcome to participate. If you want to put in your recipes, I will read them. It may take a little time. I mean, it may be a little bit time consuming or too much to write, but that's if you decide to. And while I narrate my how to make baked mac and cheese, because I spoke with one of my peoples and I was telling her how I make it. She told me how she make hers. I think we both had a little bit criticisms. You know who you are of the baked mac and cheese. But this brings me to my point. I was listening and watching Miss uh, Kwani Monroe, right? I don't know if y'all know her. You probably do. She has a YouTube channel. She used to have a Facebook channel. Well, she has a Facebook and a YouTube channel. But I know her from YouTube because I didn't watch her on Facebook. Good morning, Virgo. How are you? So I was watching her, Miss Kwani Monroe, and I'm not here to criticize or judge her or down her about her personal life. That's not me. I think she's a nice looking woman. I think she's a sweet person. I think she engaged with her audience, her loving mother, beautiful children. It's just certain things that pop out to me that I think that I could handle it with care and not act like I'm coming off as if, oh, what she's doing is wrong and what I'm doing is right. So I did see her. Oh my goodness. I did see her make her baked macaroni and cheese. And the reason why I felt like this is a topic because a lot of women cook and they love and they have particular ways they cook and no one cooked the same unless you get a recipe and you follow it to the T. I've been cooking, I've learned, I was taught how to make baked macaroni and cheese at the age of 14. So, and that's the way I still make it to this day. And I only make it once a year for Thanksgiving if I do it, or probably once a year. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I only make it once a year. That's it. Good morning, Cassandra. I only make it once a year. So, oh gosh, please, people, if this is the live to be honest with me in, this is the live to be honest with me in. Oh, here we go. I just saw someone make mac and cheese with spaghetti noodles. I'm gonna. That sounds different. That sounds good. So listen. I'm going to try to put on my voice for narrating Miss Kwani Monroe um, baked mac and cheese, and then I'm going to narrate how I make mine. And this is in no way to shame or criticize Miss Kwani Monroe. I like her. She got my attention. I'm watching her. She's interesting. But it's just certain things when I see people cook certain things that I feel like, oh no, I would never do that to my baked macaroni and cheese. And the baked macaroni and cheese is like the centerpiece of the meal. So she made her baked macaroni and cheese. Of course, she boiled the noodles. She had a tin, and I'm narrating because I don't have the camera turned on. So this is what makes me want to do it correctly. She said, Sonny said, why do you only make it once a year? You should make it more. It's a comfort food and your dad may enjoy. Thank you, Sonny. But listen, oh gosh, y'all gonna think I'm real snooty and snotty and I don't know. I make it once a year because it's like I think that's like a special meal to make. Um, I don't know. I have to be like in the mindset to make baked macaroni and cheese. I don't crave it. It only tastes good to me around Thanksgiving and probably the holidays. I do make the little cheap ones for Zachary, like if he wants something quick, a Velveeta macaroni and cheese. But to prepare something big like that, yeah, only once a year. I like quantity too, but I wouldn't make my mac. Oh my goodness, we didn't even get started yet. Okay, Miss Diva. All right, so let me before Diva gets me into trouble, we'll just go over how she made hers and the ingredients. And I'm not here. I see it, Diva. My mom used to use spaghetti before when she ran out. It doesn't taste any different. Oh, okay. Well, then we're gonna use spaghetti. I like Kwani as well. Follow her. I like her. That's the only thing I'm gonna critique her on. It's her baked macaroni and cheese. Anything else, I don't have a problem with. Like I like watching her. I like watching her cook. Some meals I don't approve of, and it's not that she need my approval. So I'll just go ahead and y'all tell me, Bronx, you need to brush up on your baked macaroni and cheese. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna compare mine to Kwani. So Kwani, she had her macaroni. She boiled the macaroni, and she had a large tinfoil pan. You know where we usually put the macaroni in. If I'm not mistaken, well, when she poured out the macaroni, I felt like she overcooked her noodles, and because they were a little bit sticking, she put the noodles in the pan. She added the I'm trying to go by with okay, the ingredients was even if I don't get it how she did it to the T. She had the noodles, which I felt like they were a little bit overcooked. Um Not to point out any mistakes she made deliberately, but I usually when I make my baked macaroni and cheese, I boil it. She boils hers, but it gotta be I don't boil it for long, 10, 12 minutes. That's how I know it was sticking to the pan. She didn't grease her excuse me, she didn't grease her aluminum foil pan. She put the macaroni in. She had the cheese. The cheese was she had ragu, what is it, ragu Velveeta cheese? I don't know. Like the cheese that you use for Velveeta to make that. I never knew people could do that. She had heavy cream. She had cheese. She had a Monterey cheese. I don't think I. Mm-mm. She had Monterey cheese. She seasoned her She seasoned her noodles while they were in the pan. Basically, she did everything in the pan, right? She had the thing I think would turn me off about her baked macaroni and cheese is the way that she was spreading the cheese all over. How many cheeses do I use? I use 4 block cheese. Do you know the block cheese? I cut it up in cubes, but I won't get there. Hi, good morning, Aisha. Oh gosh, this is so hard for me to do because I know a lot of people like Kwani. So the gist of the story is the way she had the mac and cheese, right? The shredded cheese. I don't put shredded cheese in my macaroni. She had shredded cheese. She had the cheese sauce. She had heavy cream. She seasoned her noodles with what is I forgot what she seasoned her noodles with. It was something that I would never season my noodles with. Okay, I use 5 different. Really, you use 5 different types of cheese for yours? She when she had and she put margarine. I use margarine. She stirred it up all together in the pan. That's where I was a little bit confused at because her baked macaroni and cheese is just totally different from what I make mine, and probably a lot of people make theirs. So everything she had, all the ingredients she had, she stirred it up in the pan, and I guess she put it in the oven. And she said I guess people was telling her that her macaroni and cheese was too cheesy. I don't like cheesy macaroni. She said it's macaroni, it's supposed to be cheesy. So I don't know. The shredded cheese threw me off. I don't do shredded cheese, and the cheese sauce threw me off because I just that was just a little bit too much. But how I make mine was I was taught when I was 15 years old, 14 years old. You boiled, and she had her eggs and everything, all she needed. She had all the ingredients, but I'm just going to substitute how I make mine from the top to the bottom. So what I do is I boil my noodles. Of course, I boil my noodles. I get an egg. I mix the egg up in the macaroni and cheese. I use a combination of carnation milk and whole milk. And I do add a stick of margarine in there. I add my cheese that I chopped up because I chop it up in cubes. I mix it all together until it's, until the cheese melt and the butter and the margarine melt. Um, I add salt to my water while I'm boiling, excuse my noodles. And while I have that doing that, I already got the oven on uh, preheated to 350. I cook it low at 350, right? So I mix up the macaroni, I mix up the egg, I mix up the cheese, I mix up the milk and the stick of margarine while it's in the pot cooking. So I let it become a little bit melted. And then after it's melted, I put it in the oven and I cook it on 350 for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on how brown I want it. Real butter makes everything better. But listen, I use margarine, right? Butter, I feel like, I don't know, margarine or butter. She used margarine, which I was like, okay, I use margarine. I use the same thing, margarine or butter. I know a lot of people probably do use butter, but I don't use cheese sauce. Wait, I mix all my ingredients in the pan except if I make a cheese sauce. I don't use margarine for anything. I use shredded cheese, but prefer to grate. Oh, see, I don't grate. I don't use shredded cheese. I do take my time and chop it up into blocks, like cubes. I mean, the block cheese, I take it and I chop it up into cubes. I use extra sharp cheese and sharp cheddar cheese. That's it. It always come out the same when I make it for the last 20 years. So when I see other people make other cheese, I'm like, okay, you can have different cheeses, but that was just shredded cheese. I never tried with shredded cheese. I don't know. That's just like an insult to me. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be funny. So while I add all my ingredients and mix it up in a pot, y'all could try this, right? And you could give me your recipes because we could exchange recipes. I let it melt the cheese, everything that's in the pot. I let it melt, and then I put it in the pan and spread it out, and just put it in the oven. Wait, oh, here we go. So lasagna says I use block cheese too. I use butter only. I grate the block cheese on the top. Oh my. Okay, listen, people. Do not attack me for the way I make. So we got a survey of people that shred their cheese and grate their cheese. I don't grate it. I don't use margarine for anything. Try using butter. Try using butter. All right, I'll try using butter for this one. But I just don't. No, the cube cheese will have you with pockets of mac and cheese where it isn't distributed. No, 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 no. Excuse me. If you're gonna fight me on my macaroni and cheese, Sonny, that's not true. Okay. What I do is I let it melt in a pot before I put it in the pan. Um, it melts evenly. It's not like, oh, but with the shredded cheese, it's like how much of a, I don't know. I'll probably try it with the shredded cheese one day. But I'm letting you guys know when I cut it up in cubes, small cubes, because it's time consuming. That's why I only make it once a year. And I put a lot of effort into what I do. Okay. But I just don't see, I wasn't taught how to make with shredded cheese. But if you try it, take the time and cut up the block cheese into small blocks, not heavy, just the humongous blocks, small cubes of cheese, the block cheese. You'll see the difference. I have used the shredded cheese too when I want to be lazy, but definitely block cheese. Thank you. But everyone, okay, so you say you use the block cheese too and shredded cheese too, but did you say that you shred? Your cheese? No, that was Sonny said that. So you said, do you shred your block cheese, Aisha? Because I don't shred. I don't like shredding. I just, mm-mm. Block cheese has more flavor. Yes, I use own, and I'm not trying to be funny. I get 4 blocks of cheese, extra sharp, and sharp cheddar. That's all I use. Salt. I use only shredded mozzarella on top. Really? I'm gonna have to start implementing and incorporating these different cheeses, because I have tasted people and that doesn't matter. I just have a give you an idea of where I learned. My stepmother, that's how they cook it. She's from South Carolina, and that's how she's been cooking it. She's still cooking to this day. Shredded cheese in the bag has potato starch, which can affect how the cheese melts. But you may like it, so try it by adding your milk to a pan with your block cheese. But listen, what I do is, like, after okay, all the ingredients is in the pot, and I let the cheese melt to a degree. Like, it's not to a degree. Now listen to me. I'm gonna narrate. All the ingredients is in the pot. I let it melt. This butter, the margarine, the cheese. I add a combo of carnation milk and whole milk, a mixture of that. I salt my water um, before I put the noodles in for the macaroni in for the water. So after everything, after the noodles are boiled, and an egg, yes, I do use an egg. So all I got to do is just pour all the ingredients in the pan and probably stir it up and put it in the pan. Excuse me, put it in the oven for 350 for 30 to 45 minutes. I use oh, so you use a cheese grater for your block cheese? Okay, so one day I'm going to take all of your recipes to make a different baked macaroni and cheese. I'll probably make a small pan, because that's where I'm going to start off, and do the shredded cheese with the block cheese. I don't know. I don't know. It's different from what she made hers and the way I make mine, and the ingredients y'all tell me I use. And I know a lot of people like, oh, we don't use butter or margarine. Sometimes margarine is better than butter. Shred my food processor. Me too. Or the shred in my food processor. Yeah, but you all could take a little bit. And if you want to make a small pan of macaroni and cheese and cut up the block cheese into cubes, make it like all you need is like 2 blocks of cheese of your liking, because cutting up that block cheese into cubes is very time consuming. Okay, if you want to really kick it up, try using pepper jack. My family loves it. Pepper jack cheese. Okay, I'll try to use that. I'll open my mind to different ideas and different things, because that's just like the way I've made it, and I get good feedback, great feedback from my family. But to me, mac and cheese ain't if it's not cheese. But to me, mac and cheese is not cheesy. Yeah, but I don't like it to be so overwhelming that it's like to the point where you only taste the cheese. So when Kwani Miss Monroe said, "Listen, macaroni and cheese is supposed to be cheesy," but the way she did it, I was a little thrown off. Right? She had shredded cheese, different types of cheese. Then she had this cheese sauce. So that, oh, okay. I use sharp Gouda, mozzarella, Colby, and Parmesan cheese. Okay, that's different. Maybe I'm just so fixed. I'm a fixed person, stubborn. I'll try different cheeses just to see the outcome or the taste, because it's, you learn something like a recipe, a family recipe. You probably get, as me, like myself, get a little intimidated by mixing it up. Um, how long do y'all cook your macaroni for? Till it's brown, But I'm gonna probably do a video in the future and show y'all how I do my cheese, and I mean my baked macaroni and cheese, and you all could send me recipes how you do yours, and I'll try it throughout the year. But yeah, but and then she shredded her cheese. She took the rest of this cheese, shredded cheese, and and spread it out on top of the macaroni. So I felt like that was a little bit too much cheese, way too much cheese for me. The only thing is you tasting the cheese, and I feel like you're supposed to taste the whole pan. I mean, the whole macaroni, the noodles, the cheese, whatever. I guess everyone cooks differently, but that's how I make mine. Just simple, basic, to the point. A lot of people, I seen people. Let me see. I use 5 cheese for special holidays, but on regular Sundays I use sharp and mozzarella. Okay, I use. I usually said I use 5 cheese for special holidays, but on regular Sunday dinner I use sharp and mozzarella. Yeah, because I think macaroni and cheese, baked macaroni and cheese, is a little bit time consuming, and you got to put a little bit effort into it. It's like I have made macaroni and cheese by rushing it, and I got like this, and I said to the person, I was like, "Yo, this was at the last moment. You definitely got to tell me in advance that you want macaroni and cheese, just because it's time consuming." And a lot of people in the chat said they don't cut their cheese up into cubes. Aisha added some. What's that word? What is this fancy stuff? Sony added some groove patina and creamy herbate and dropped the parmesan tasty. This is so bougie, Sony. I never heard of any of these things, but I'll keep it. Let me I'll screenshot it. Right, I like consistency. I want to taste it all. Yeah, that's true. I like to taste it all of it. Sonny, oh wow, yes, I am writing them down. Thanks for that. I would definitely let you know how it turns out. Yeah, we all here, we all beautiful women that have experience and have skills in the kitchen, which I am not ashamed to say. I do not like to cook. Like if you say if we all having a dinner and y'all come over, like, oh, Bronx girl, Leela, are you gonna cook? I'm like, okay, what do you want me to cook? But you would never tell that I don't like to cook. I'll just let you know I don't like to cook. But if you ask me to cook you something because, eating together with your friends and family brings you closer, I will cook. But to say like I like how Miss Kwani do, she cook different meals. I mean, I could chastise or criticize her meals, but I won't, because that's just not who I am, and I'm not a foodie. Some people are foodies, so they'll criticize me, which is okay, and give me great feedback. Sometimes I add bacon. Oh, okay. Mm. That's what I. Oh yeah, that wood style. You know what is so funny? Because like I remember one time I made some baked macaroni and cheese just to make it. That was like probably while ago, over a year ago, 2 years ago. And my father, he wanted bacon with his baked macaroni and cheese. Now I don't know if y'all could do this. I can do this. I could eat macaroni, baked macaroni and cheese by itself, no meat, no nothing. That's how I do it. Like if I'm sitting up and I'm like, I don't need nothing else but baked macaroni and cheese. And Zachary could do it too. He could eat the baked macaroni and cheese without anything else. Do y'all eat your baked macaroni and cheese like that without like the all the other helpings? Sony, Gouda sounds good. Gouda is good. I'm gonna have to try it. I'm scared. Y'all pushing my boundaries, and I guess I have to get out my stubbornness and do something different. Let me see. I like my mac and cheese cheesy too. Oh, okay. I mean, wait, what? Okay, wait. Oh, wait a second. Wait, I want to read your. Sonny said, use the same cheese profiles you first mentioned and add those cheeses. I just mentioned I cater at times and have food sales. Okay. Excuse me, Miss Tony. Mac is one of my specialty dishes, and I don't even really like it. Mmm. Bronx, what seasons do you use? I'll tell you. See, you talking about for the macaroni and cheese? Well, if you want me to be honest, I could. I salt the water before I boil the noodles, and I probably use like a dash or sprinkle some black pepper. But like I don't use seasoning. I'm not lying. I don't use seasoning for my baked macaroni and cheese. Now, if you're talking about regular seasoning, I'll tell you what I use. I could go get it and name a few. But no, I don't use seasoning for the baked macaroni and cheese. But if you want to give me some suggestions on the seasoning for the baked macaroni and cheese, I'll be gladly take it and accept it. Lasagna, yes, Gouda was one she mentioned, and it is good. Use the smoked Gouda. I'm gonna have to try that. Ugh, y'all scaring me now. Now I have to step up my game and come back harder than ever with the baked macaroni and cheese. But no, I don't use seasoning in the baked macaroni and cheese. I see that Kwani did in hers that she used seasoning, and people were in the comments talking about did she use accent in her macaroni? She said no, she used something totally different. I just didn't know what seasoning she used. I don't know if it was like a rest day for Kwani making that baked macaroni and cheese, or if that's how she make it normally. I wasn't too thrilled, and it wasn't something that I would follow. But I like her, and I like the way she comfort her audience. Yes, thanks. Again, I can't wait to try it. Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot Sony's when I or do the replay and go through the comments and or if you want to put. I'll put up a post, and Sonny, if you want to give your recipe, if the audience haven't already jotted it down, you could do that, and then we'll come back and we'll report to you. Everyone, try using a little bell seasoning. I stand on it for the macaroni. So like if I'm ready when I put it, do how do I season it? Because I really don't think about seasoning it unless it's in the salt water. So do we season it after we drain the macaroni? That would make sense. Yes? Okay. Got you. Sony, do you put okay, thank you, Virgo. Sony, do you put seasoning in your mac and cheese? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I pinned it. Aisha said, Sony, do you put seasoning in your mac and cheese? Hmm. We'll wait for Sony. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Sony. Sony is on point. Wait, this is so Sony. This is your seasoning for macaroni and cheese. You say garlic powder, onion powder, okay, pepper for your noodles, and you can boil your noodles in water and chicken bouillon. Flavor profile is good. I like that. I like that you said to boil the noodles in chicken bouillon, which makes sense. Or not to go against you, Sony, because I know you're good at this. If if not chicken bouillon, how about chicken broth? No, sometimes I like boil certain things in chicken broth. I'll make a if I make rice, I'll use chicken broth to boil my rice. If I use meat, I don't know. We'll get into it. Okay, this is a preview of what we're going to do on the other channel, lifestyle and relationships, insight and perspective with Bronx Girl. Let's see, Aisha. Just don't use any salt because the cheese is salty. Okay, just don't. So Sonny said, yes, I do. Just don't use any salt because the cheese is salty enough, or add just a little. I sprinkle smoked paprika on top. On top of your macaroni and cheese. That's new. Listen, y'all opened me up to new ideas. Just disregard. She just added. Thanks, Sonny. Oh, okay. Here we go. I used broth before, but that's more pricey. When you can just shake that. Oh yeah, chicken broth is pricey. You know what, Sonny? To let you in on a little secret because you telling us who you are as a chef or cook or however you may interpret it. Are you a chef? If not a chef, you just you say you cater. That don't I don't know if that makes you a chef or do you want to be called a chef? But chicken broth is pricey. I used to just drink it as a broth, as a soup, when I don't want to eat too much. But chicken broth, you could do many things with it, but it is expensive. You're right about that. So that's why I guess like I get it on sale and oh yeah, like if I'm baking chicken, instead of water, I use chicken broth. Sonny, I never tried chicken bouillon. I'm gonna try it too. Yes, smoked paprika on top. Okay. Look at you, Sonny, getting the crowd started. I love this chat. Oh my goodness, a beautiful, mature, open-minded chat audience that's here, coming together, bringing women together, sharing our recipes to make us a better person. No, wow, that sounds different, Sonny, with using chicken bouillon. And that is interesting. We're going to try it. And we're going to thank Sony, excuse me, for opening up our imaginations. Thank you. Thanks, Sonny. I am going to try this next time I make mac and cheese. Look at Sonny said, not a chef. I work in it, but I've been cooking since a kid. Yes, broth will have two. Yes, broth, you will have to use a container on or top. Yeah, like, well, thank you, Sonny. Not a chef, but I call people that know how to make meals, cook really good, a chef. And some people say, well, you don't have to be a chef to be a cook. That's true, but Sonny, you a chef here today. You the chef of the group, okay? You the chef of this chat of this audience. Everyone has something different that they could bring, and you brought something different. you have people interested in how to make stuff different and just giving us a little bit of pointers. And I appreciate you for that. I'm just glad everyone was on board with me talking about someone else, Miss Kwani Monroe. I appreciate her for giving me content. Wait, anyone else ever tried sour cream in their mac and cheese? No, but that's not what Miss Kwani used. She used heavy cream. Did she use heavy cream? If anyone saw her video, was it heavy cream or was it sour cream? Not everyone's flavor profile is different. That's true. So when you use the bouillon to boil your noodles, taste your noodles before you add anything to see what makes you. That's true. You know what? And now I've learned not because sometimes I get so uptight and shit. I'm like, you got to taste as you go when you cooking your food, and you shouldn't be scared to taste as you go. But with the macaroni, because I've been doing it for since 15 and I'm 43, I'll do it just like you said, Sony, because I know how to follow directions. Oh yeah, she used heavy cream. She did use heavy cream. Yeah, she did, and it was just okay. Now it was just not to compare. It was just like a different way people cook, and that's okay. And I'm gonna learn how to use it with shredded cheese and the chicken bouillon. So we did use and got great ideas from Sony. I say Sony. I've used sour cream and cream cheese at times in my mac. You don't taste them; it adds to the creaminess. So, what's your thoughts on? Oh, okay. You said sour cream and cream cheese, heavy cream. What are your thoughts? Oh, I used to get, but I prefer. Listen, my cousin used half and half. She get all bougie and shit. She'll use half and half for her baked macaroni and cheese. Like my cousin taught me how to make lasagna. She taught me how to make spaghetti, and now I make spaghetti better than her. Not to be funny, but she don't make it no more. And I only make that. I used to make it like often, uh, more than often, and I only make spaghetti occasionally. And we could talk about that on different occasions, how we make things and build and give each other um, pointers or exchange different ideas on how to make spaghetti. Mm. Yes, it is good. Could you taste the difference? That's what Virgo said to Aisha. What Aisha said. Anyone ever tried? Because yeah, she said anyone ever tried sour cream and their mac and cheese? And Sony said, yeah, I use sour cream cheese at times in my mac. You don't taste them. Taste it, it adds to the creaminess. Okay, let me see. See, half and half is cheaper, and you can use less when you use canned milk. Save them coin. Oh my goodness! Now we have an assignment. Sony gave us an assignment today to go out and do different things with macaroni to live a little, push the boundaries. But yeah, I was watching, and I was watching. Mm-mm. I was watching Muffin Plus Five. I don't know. I don't know if her cooking is compared to Miss Kwani, but I think they have the same style of cooking. I don't criticize people. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not. I don't criticize to hurt nobody's feelings, but I criticize to say I would do something different or I would gain from it. Right. So I gained from watching Miss Kwani Monroe, and then I took away because everybody cooked differently. Not really. It's a big difference. It's like substituting the milk. Like heavy cream. I feel like heavy cream and sour cream. Yeah. What about do y'all use sour cream and what is it called? Sour cream and cream cheese for your lasagna or your what is it, pasta or casserole. That's how the white people say it, casserole. I don't really like making lasagna. That's not something that I would like opt to make as a dinner. It's about experimenting and find what works for you and your family. Start with a small pan and try. Yeah, I'm gonna start with a small pan and try. Like I'm gonna put up a special thank you to Sony to I keep calling her Sony to you for sharing and giving us ideas. And if you want to share your recipe, and we'll take it, and then I'll just repost it, and I'll do it like that. Because I don't have my pen to write it down. But however you see fit, if you want to give us a full detail of your recipe, how to make baked macaroni and cheese differently, I would appreciate if you just share. Yes, I have added cream cheese with my ricotta cheese. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a simple cook. Like I could chop up some vegetables, make some rice, bake some chicken. Okay, we done. Like for me to make a whole layout of food, like a full course meal, that's something I know how to do, but that's something that I don't want to be forced to do. Oh, you're welcome, everyone. I don't care about Velveeta cheese at all. I think that's what I think that's what Corny was using, Velveeta sauce cheese. Not Velveeta, ragu. I don't know the name of it, but it was sauce cheese that she was using in her baked macaroni and cheese. She mixed that with the noodles, and then she added her other ingredients like the cheese, the shredded cheese, the margarine. The only thing that I'm not going to sit, I'll back her up is with the margarine, but people say butter is better. I just felt like when it comes to noodles, the noodles shouldn't be sticking to each other. What I would do different from a lot of people may do different is I let my all of my ingredients melt up in a pan and excuse me in a pot and then pour it into the pan, mix it up, and then put it in the oven. But y'all still didn't tell me cream cheese to ricotta was for lasagna, just not to confuse anyone, not to think mac and cheese. Yeah, thank you, Sony. So how long do y'all let your macaroni and cheese stay in the oven for to cook so it's brown on the top? Not hard, right? Because I noticed that Kwani didn't grease her pan so it won't stick to the pan. I don't know if y'all do that or if you do that, but I do grease my pan and I do like with whatever margarine or butter so it won't stick. How long do you use? Excuse me. How long do you put your macaroni and cheese in the oven to cook for? If anyone want to share their feedback, and then we'll move on to the next topic, and then we'll call it a day. Because I just wanted to come back and say hello to everyone and see if everyone had a great New Year's. I mean, New Year's and July 4th. I don't use Velveeta either and have used ragu before, and it wasn't bad. I wanted to see how it tastes. You liked it with the ragu cheese sauce? I'm gonna do Kwani's in honor of Kwani. I'm gonna go back and watch a macaroni tutorial, and I'm gonna do it how she did it because she did it from the top to bottom. I didn't see the outcome because it cut off, but I seen the picture of it. The way she did it, I'm just gonna use a small pan to do it. A small pan, one of those pans that you could put like a small cake in or cornbread in, that the smallest pan ever, just to see and follow her directions because I just was turned off by the shredded cheese, the cheese sauce, the cheese on top. It was like she said that she liked her macaroni cheesy, and I don't know. I would say maybe 25 to 30 minutes in oven and maybe broil it to get a pretty color on top. Okay, that's nice. I should do the broil. The broil do give a great, beautiful color. If it's, I'm not mistaken myself. But yeah, I usually put it in like I don't know because I cook it at 350 on a low temperature, and it gives a brown cover, not burnt but brown cover at the end. 30 minutes. Yeah, I do 30 minutes to about 40 minutes, depending on how pretty it looks. Because you know some macaroni and cheese don't come out the same. Oh, thank you, Aisha. For butter, it makes everything. But okay, so now that Aisha and everyone in the chat has pushed back against me, I think it was only one person standing on my side and said they use margarine. I'll try butter from now on. You know, I'll share a secret, not a secret with y'all with butter. You know, I was watched because I watch cooking shows like every so often. Um, I was watching one cooking show and they were saying that in order for you to get your mashed potatoes to be good, great, tastes good. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Aisha. They were saying that you should melt your butter before adding it to the potatoes, the white potatoes, and you should warm your milk up before you add it. I did it. Game changer. Hey, Charmel, how are you? Thank you for coming by. Yes, I use ragu cheese. Oh, okay. Wait. I see Miss Diva. Wait, yes, I use ragu cheese. This is Sony, but with the 4 to 5 other cheeses, it wasn't bad. And butter, baby. So butter wins. Charmel said, "Hey, Brock." I use margarine too, Bron, so I'm not against butter though. I'm not against butter, right? But it just feels good that someone, have the same idea as me and Kwani with the margarine. I'll try butter too, but margarine is different. So yeah, I was watching the show because I watch it and just to be up on things to try to do things differently. When you mash your potatoes up, before you add the butter, melt the butter before you add it to the mashed potatoes, and heat the milk before you um, add it to the mashed potatoes. No, I didn't use the ragu, but use it to see how it would taste. Really? So listen, it don't taste too good. Like I don't know. It's like I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do everything Kwani did, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you how it turned out in the future because I know I'm not doing it anytime soon. But yeah, that was what she did, and I appreciate her giving me content for today and engaging and having a great conversation. She cook a lot. That's what she do. She cook, and nobody should ever take from her what she do because she is a content creator. She's been going at this for a long time, and I don't have any um, thing bad to say about the woman at all. I don't. Like, I'm not a foodie. I know I've been eating a lot for the last 2 years, which I'm getting tired of because since the pandemic, everybody has changed their habits in some way, good or bad. But she's a foodie. I'm not a foodie. So certain things that she cook, I'll take from. Like she made some red potatoes. She left the skin on, which I do myself. I said, okay. Um, it's just like I feel like when she seasoned her food, she like so heavy handed with her seasoning. It's like, how could you enjoy your food so salty like that? Yes, always warm your milk first when making mashed. Thank you. Oh, Virgo is in the building. She said, always warm your milk first. Yes, that's what I learned. To warm your milk before you make your mashed potatoes, and that's what I did. And it's game changer. And it does taste different, and it does taste good. Because my father said, "Oh, these taste good." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And Zachary, if he likes something, he's like, "Oh, it tastes good. I want more." And if he don't like, he be like, "I don't like this. It don't taste good." So I have to. I practice on Zachary and my father, the most two criticized people in the world. It didn't taste fake, but you try it for yourself. It didn't. Okay, well then I'm gonna try it for myself and then tell y'all if I liked it or not. Yes, great live. I am loving the cooking tips. I am too. Very much on a Friday. I'm not doing anything the way Kwani did her mac and cheese. No shit. Now, Miss Diva, I understand what you're saying, right? I have the same sentiments as you, Diva. I do. I do because everyone get insulted about their food, right? And I'm not insulting her. We just not throwing shade at you, Miss Kwani Monroe. I appreciate you for giving us this content, and we did not bash you. That's not what we do over here, not in that particular area. But everybody have their critique of cooking, and I'll try yours to you respect your channel and respect your skills. But that was just a little bit too much for me. I made some homemade mashed potatoes the other day. My kids loved it. Really, oh my goodness, I love homemade mashed potatoes. Tastes good. It tastes really different from the store bought. I'm fools with her though. Right, like, I like her a lot, but I just didn't like that baked macaroni. They just now coming back to This chat is so trifling. I love this chat. I swear, this is the most mature chat on this platform, on this sector, and I say that with confidence. I'm not even playing. Everybody have a different skill set. I have homeowners in here. I have gun owners in here. I have cooks. I have chefs in here. I have everybody that has something to do that can show and teach and share with someone. We have it in this chat, and this is why I'm not going to give up. But if you try ragu, use the other cheese too. Or yeah, that's what she did. She mixed the macaroni in a ragu cheese sauce, and then I was like, okay, what? And then she spreaded the shredded cheese on top. I was like, okay, what? And then after she was finished, she finished spreading the rest of the cheese on top. I was like, mm, mm. Sonia, respectfully, no, we respect Kwani. We like her. I like Kwani. I like Muffin Plus Five. We'll talk about her another time. We're not going to talk about them and bash them, even though we're not going to sit here and give them full praises and shit, but I haven't seen them do anything since I've been tuning in that I don't dislike. Like, maybe they eat a little bit more. Listen, the thing is, I'm not going to eat in front of nobody on TV. I just can't watch nobody eat. I will turn it off. But I watched Kwani eat, and I watched Muffin Plus Five eat. Yes, I use butter from Walmart that has the garlic, basil butter, and Parmesan. Game changer, so good. Look at her son. She didn't. It probably was good. Kwani did not put any love in it. I don't think she did either. But people was coming in her comments and critiquing her, and she's used to that. And I think, I don't know. She probably used to making her baked macaroni and cheese that way, and she just didn't think anything of it. She don't know. She have new watchers like myself, and people that have watched her that love her and like her and just tune in to see her give a show. But that macaroni and cheese, I was like, no, let me go talk about it, but not in a bad way. Aisha, I like that butter too for some dishes. Yes, each one teach one. I love it. I love it too. This is what we're going to do, and I'm going to transfer this. This is just a preview of what I would talk about with my other channel, and build that channel up for lifestyle and relationships. Talking about lifestyle and relationships is not hard. You definitely got to know what you're talking about, and definitely have to engage your audience. So this is where I come to share it, and we take it further. But let me see. Diva is still like, and it's just in. Oh my goodness. I would just like to thank Quan and Miss Muffin. I don't know. She was making some. I'm going to just touch on her in a little bit, and then talk about another topic, and then we end it because this is Friday morning. I know everyone want to go and enjoy their day and enjoy their morning and do what they do. Yes, each one teach one. I love it. So I saw Miss Muffin Monroe. No, excuse me, Muffin plus five make some pepper steak. I felt like when she was making her pepper steak, her fire was a little bit too high. So that's the only. And I really didn't get into her cooking, but I've watched her cook and I watched her eat, and I'm like, okay, I'm not here to criticize or down any woman that has been doing this longer than me and have a following, larger follower than me. But that's the only thing I saw with her that I said, oh no. Sometimes I feel like when people cook their fire on their food on that high with fire, I'm like, the fire was too high. I don't know. And then she said it was tender. Maybe it was. I don't know how it was tender if her fire was so high. I don't know. Maybe I was just bugging. Sonny, have you used cinnamon butter one also? I use on my roast cinnamon butter. They got cinnamon butter. I gotta get out of my comfort zone with the cooking because I'm simple. One, two, three, and that's how I cook. So I appreciate everyone joining in and giving feedback and sharing their ideas. So before I leave, I wanted to talk about really quickly, and I don't want people to like get offended who I'm about to speak about because I speak what I see, how they present themselves, and that's how I do my Lord Bronx. Don't touch Muff Kelly, please. She a whole mess to me. Kwani, wait, all right, I'll do it over. Lord Bronx, don't touch Muff Kelly, please. She a whole mess to me. But Kwani, my girl, and I started watching Muff Kelly for. I like both of them, to be honest. You know what's so funny? Before I even try to act like that, I don't have an opinion about both of them. When I saw that was a while ago when I was watching Kwani and Muffin, and I wasn't watching them like that. But fast forward to the future, they both had grew their family. So, and I'm like, I really don't like family channels, to tell you the truth. Only person in my house that watch family channels is Zachary, and that's just the silly shit. But they both grew their families. I'm like, mm. But anyway, I understand. I watch both of them cook, but can't watch them eat right. I can't. I watch them cook, but when they start eating, I can't. I watch Kwani eat. She's a little bit different the way Muffin eat. Muffin, I don't have a problem with her eating, but even if it was a Muffin or Kwani, I'm not tuning in to watch people eat. I don't like that. That's not who I am. So, and it's nothing against them. They have done nothing to me. I just don't like watching people eat. Yes, and it's good too, but I make my own most of the time. So Here we go. I was watching y'all favorite people, Chef Carmen and Tay, right? I was watching some old videos with them, not old, but recent, like recent lives a couple of weeks ago up until now. And I would like to start watching them and following them more. I was watching their live yesterday. I mean, not live yesterday, but I seen like a replay or of Chef Carmen and Pretty Tay. But Chef Carmen is a chef too, and I'm not gonna lie, I have critique about her food too. I feel like, and this is how I'm gonna end it. I like them as a couple, but I guess individually they have their own hangups and shit that they not perfect as they present themselves to. I don't think like they don't have any wrong according to them. But with Chef Carmen, I feel like she know how to deceive people in a way. She know how to deceive people. But her cooking, okay, all right. I don't know. Sometimes her cooking don't look as appetizing to me. I mean, I'm not gonna say she can't cook. I'm not gonna say her food look nasty. I'm not gonna say that she doesn't have a skill set. But sometimes I feel like as a chef, you can get critiqued too about your food. I love Chef Carmen. I used to mod for her for years ago up in her really in her food group. All right, so I'm glad you're here, Sonny. Before we leave, Sony. Before we leave, I saw her make a meal, and I was rewinding, going back. She had made. Mm-mm. If anyone don't want to participate, you don't have to. But I'll just go along and say what I have to say about her food. I feel like her food is some of it, most of it is something that we all can do, right? She had made this meal with ramen noodles, eggs. What was it? Shrimp. I just thought that was just put together. I don't know if her I don't know if her presentation takes away from it or something she's doing that because I'm not going to say that all her food is not as appetizing. Hey Lou, how you doing? Lou is in the building. All right, so let me just get it out and say what I got to say about Chef Carmen with no disrespect to her oh, there you go. Oh my gosh. You know what? The next time we come in here and people say things that I'm not bold enough to say or don't want to offend the audience, I'm gonna have to tell you to start dropping cash after this. You have. We're gonna start doing giveaways just based on the comments alone. Okay, there we go. Thank you for saving me. I think some of her food is mediocre. I think so too. Right? Like her rice look good. She what she did was like one she was doing a live, she was doing a food what is it called, she was doing a what is the thing she called where she go out and set up and selling her food, which I feel like her plates are accurate. Her plates are $30. That's how much I would charge too. That's no doubt in my mind that her plates are $30. A guy asked me to cook for him one day. I was like, that's $30 for this plate. And he looked at me like I was crazy, as if cooking is easy. Okay, here we go. Her food is mediocre. Ramen seafood boil is probably what that was. She has many moving parts, so she don't cook as much as she used to because she's not home based anymore. Oh, but with this food, excuse me, no, I don't watch Darius cook. Cassandra, she do food shows and events. Yes, she did a food show and event. She was at an event. Thank you, Sonny. Sony. I'm just gonna sign it. Sony. That's the last time I'm gonna call you Sonny. Sony, she was at a food event, right? And her place was $30, which I would never ever criticize her for. That's accurate. $30 for a plate. But this one particular meal she made, what is was you said a seafood boil, that was the one that I was torn up behind. And I feel like presentation matters the most. Like if you're gonna make eggs, they look a little bit overcooked. The yolk, the cooked yolk inside just looked like it was just dry. I'm not taking away from her. It's just like I feel like Aisha said, like her food is mediocre in most ways than one, more ways than one, and that's okay. Like I feel like the way she cook, we all could cook. Her food is not as healthy as I would expect it to be. She do a lot of fried foods, and that's okay too. But as a chef, I feel like she don't push her boundaries. Just like y'all pushed my boundaries this morning with the mac and cheese. I don't know if she pushed her boundaries with cooking. Okay, no, I don't watch Darius Cooks. I want to. Should I watch him? Because I could watch him for y'all if you want me to. Her food are simple. She states that in her video, anyone can cook. Right, but what I'm can't lie, I love Darius Smith. I'll check him out too. I'm not saying because her food is simple and she called herself a chef. Maybe my problem with her is more than like, see, Kwani, she's not a chef. She don't call herself a chef. So you expect her to be less of appetizing and less appealing in her presentation, right? She used to do a lot more when she was home. She loves to grill. But oh gosh, this is so scary, people. I don't think anybody food should be mediocre if you call yourself a chef. I mean, easy to do meals at home, which is okay. But everything is mostly what I see her cook is fried. Um, and as someone that's watching and critiquing her on her cooking, because I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh my goodness, I want to cook this, I want to cook that, I want to learn this, I want to," because most of the things she cook, I could learn at home and cook at home, which I can't cook most of the things that she I don't know present. Right? I think I had a problem with her making her salmon on a grill. I'm like, what? Oh gosh, this is so scary. So I'm not even trying to down her, but she should be open to criticism, not taken away from her. I'm not saying that she hasn't achieved any, that she don't have no accomplishments. Not saying that she haven't achieved any goals, but there is still room to be criticized. Aww. I'm not going to pin that, Miss Diva, because they're going to be like, you know what? Miss Diva and Bronx Girl is working behind the scenes. Yeah. She said, I agree. In certain ways, we agree. We all don't have to agree with each other, which the chat is showing me that they don't agree with me. But she is not a chef. I know she's not a chef, but why does she call herself Chef Carmen? Thank you, Cassandra. Okay, see, Cassandra. Lasagna, you just time yourself out, okay? Lasagna says she is not a chef. Cassandra says she do get a lot of backlash on the food she cook with a chef title, but I like her too. I do like her. That's why I tune into her because I like her. I like her and pretty. I seen a example. I seen her price of her perfume, Pretty Tay. Her bottle, which I seen, costs $98. I don't know if I can afford that. If she have a smaller bottle that costs less, or tester, I will buy it. Grilled salmon is the shit. Like she said, we're not messy. I just agree. Okay, thank you, Miss Diva. I just right. So maybe because the chat, she's not a chef, but she says but it says Chef Carmen. A lot of her foods is anyone can cook, right? I just think with my opinion of her cooking is it's not as appealing as I want it to be for her to be a chef. Um, when she made the grilled salmon, I never had grilled salmon on the grill before. I was like, I want to know. I stayed to see how it was going to come out. Salmon by itself is expensive. That's like $15 just for salmon. So her charging for her place for $30 is a damn good start. I was interested in seeing her how she made the grilled salmon. Salmon is expensive. I don't know how she can afford that, but if she can afford it, she's doing something right. I just feel like when it comes to her cooking, that anyone can learn how she cook. That's why I cannot critique Miss Kwani Monroe on her cooking because she's not a chef. No one is perfect. She do events and she do make great money and she do have a crowd and she do have a large following. Chef Carmen is just that like if I want to try something that she's doing, at least make it easier for me to pick up on. She did some shrimp. Listen, I'm gonna go back so I won't be inaccurate and reporting to y'all. She said Bronx girl grilled salmon is the shit. Look, Lasagna is laughing. Lasagna, you time yourself out. I would never time you out, but you time yourself out, okay? I don't want to be fighting with the audience over Chef Carmen or Darius Cook. I want to check him out too. I would like to know what my audience likes so I can go and watch and we have a great conversation. Okay, that's true, bro. She called chef, so her food should be ready to for a magazine. You gonna get me in trouble, Charmel. I like Chef Carmen too. It's perfectly fine to like someone and not agree with the way they do certain things. That's true. That's true. Sony, yes, when he gets them cocktails in him, he prepared for laughter. Who Darius Cook? I'm gonna check him out too. That's not bad for a bottle of perfume. I've had good reviews on it, but still don't care for her. No, I heard really good reviews. Everybody said it smells good, it smells nice, which I like perfume, and I would like to just buy it to review it. But $98 starting off, that's a little bit too much. I'm telling you, that's too much for me. I hope. Do she have anything like less expensive? Aisha, no, she is. She no, she isn't formally trained, but she has been in the industry for years and in food business for years as well. Diva, I agree. Oh, okay. I thought she was. I thought she was too. I thought she was trained, but you know what? I don't know. Let me go to the comments before I end the comments. Before I end this live, please think about this. Cassandra, yes, I'll be in her falling over. Yes, I'll be in here falling over, laughing at him. I went to one of the dining with Darius dinner. Food was good. Okay. Um, Aisha wanted to go to one of them, but hubby ain't with it. Let me go back to this comment that who said it? Shamel. I'm not trying to out you, but I'm going to highlight you for the simple fact this is the fact. That's true, Bronx. She called chef, so her food should be ready for a magazine cover, and that's all I'm saying, right? Like that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying her food is nasty. I'm not saying her food is something wrong with her food. But as someone that calls himself a chef, her food should be ready for magazine cover. And to point out, right? You're not a chef, but you call yourself one. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that as far as like trying to get someone to follow your recipes, it should be more appealing to your audience. That's all I'm saying. It should be magazine cover ready. And I sat back and I debated on whether I should say this or not. If anyone in the audience disagree, you could disagree, and we'll disagree, and we'll leave it at that, and we'll end it because I know you all because it's coming up to the 1 mark, the 1 hour mark. Um, I knew she wasn't a professional trained chef just by the way she cooked. She like me could eyeball stuff because I eyeball stuff as I cook. And you in a cooking, you just cook how you want to. You add the ingredients you want to. You taste as you go along and stuff like that. And it's not hard to tell that chef is not formally trained. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just stating the obvious. Okay, let me see. She don't look like she's a trained chef. She don't look like she had formal training. I read that one, Aisha. Aisha, no, she isn't formally trained, but she has been in the industry for years and who've been this. I read that one. Thank you, son, Sony. Oh, okay. I thought she was. I did. No, Aisha, it's okay to say that. Like, even if you thought she was like a trained, formally trained and chef, you would know the difference between a trained chef and one that's not. Just by the way she prepare her meals and the recipes she show. And there's nothing wrong with it. She make meals that anyone could make. Cassandra, yes, I'd be in there falling over laughing at him. I went to one of well, I'm sorry, Aisha. Let me see, because I'm one of Darius appeared to be a good cook and a businessman. He is very messy. And I guess he brings something to his audience, Darius Cook. I never seen him cook, but I'm gonna watch him cook and see and compare and not even try to critique him because I know that talking about Chef Carmen, Darius Cook, and people that's above this sector and that have more going for themselves in this sector and that have content is a little bit scary. And I have to approach it in a decent, sensitive way because I don't want to lose my supporters because I'm talking about your favorite. And it's good that some people see the same view I have on how people present their food and what they call themselves and how they like probably deceive their audience. If anyone knows about cooking and becoming a chef, and I say chef because that's a grand title. I just felt like it's misleading to call yourself a chef and you haven't had formal training. I uh, I agree, Lasagna. His food is really good. Sony. Hubby was not having it. Mine either had to go with my sister. Oh, your husbands could go with y'all to enjoy your meal. No matter where you going. Like I feel like food is food. Food bring people together. So yeah, I'm going to check out Darius Cook. I'm going to continue to look at Chef Carmen and Tay. I like Tay for some reason, but after the whole debacle with her and Rico and Chef Carmen and Tay, it's like I drew my conclusions about them, but I'm not going to judge them on that. I'll just talk about their lifestyle, their cooking, Chef Tay, I mean Pretty Tay, because she was saying she was going back to school for nursing, and she had a big ass book that looked like it cost $300 for her classes. So and Chef Carmen, they seem like they are drifting apart, but they trying to make it so they keep up with appearances. If and then it was speculation that Chef Carmen and Tay maybe there's some infidelity. I won't touch on that. That's too touchy for me. So let's go back. I like Darius too, definitely messy, but I think he does a better presentation. I'm gonna check out Darius Cook after we get off this live or later on today. Aisha, okay, God, I wasn't the only one that experienced that. I didn't have anyone to go because they cheap and didn't want to fork out that bread. Darius cooks meals that qualifies him to have a chef title. He cooks all types of meals. Okay, so I'm gonna check him out. I think he's a very smart man, Darius Cook. I heard him talk before about Chef Carmen and Tay, and I don't know him like that. I mean, if he could cook and he make it exciting and bring something to the table to other than his cooking, and I'll definitely would keep in tune to him. It does seem like they drifting apart. They do seem like they drifting apart. Like they feel. I felt like they was trying to put up a front when they finally met up with each other. They did a live together, and Pretty Tay said that she was at home studying, she going back to school. Oh, and another thing before I go, I want to leave y'all with this. I heard Pretty Tay said that she is worth $125 an hour for nursing, and that if she can't find nothing within that realm, that she's not taking it. I think that's a cop out, right? And she also said that she had a job offer for $80 an hour for a nurse. I feel like okay, so if you're looking for a salary and base hour for $125 an hour, and you know the economy is not paying that off, excuse me, right now, and you had an offer of $80 an hour, why did you take the $80 an hour job? Even if she's with, in which I don't think she is, Chef Carmen for her money. But it just goes to show you that, like, when in relationships, you do have to compromise. You do have to push and pull. It's a give and take. I'm not going to say that Tay is a taker only, because I see how her and Chef Carmen is so corny. They dress up together. Like, that's corny to me. All the time, they look alike. So, yeah, so she said that she was offered $80 an hour, but she's looking for something for $125 an hour. And I just think that was kind of like dumb. Okay. Initially, Chef and Tay was going to live and live in separate states. Oh, really? A long distance relationship? How would that have worked? I definitely would have had a side piece. Definitely. Him and Chef Carmen used to be friends, but they fell out when Chef got with Tay. Oh, I heard that him and Chef Carmen used to be friends. Because I've heard his name. I've seen his. I haven't just tuned in to watch him cook, but I'm going to tune in to watch him cook now, since the audience seems to like him. I think it's the attacks that is taking a toll on them. These people on the internet are relentless. They are. But at the same time, I feel like when it comes to relationships with Tay and Carmen, they need to compromise a little more. Tay seemed like she's more of a taker than giver, and that's unbalanced. That's never going to work. Carmen seems like she's act like she's I'm not going to say she's scared of the woman, or she just probably a little bit taken aback by some of the things she do and say. And some of Tay lives, I could tell that she is selfish and stingy, and that's okay. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think um, Chef Carmen is a bad person. I just think they got a little deceitful ways about them, which is okay. But when Tay said that she was not going to take a pay cut because she wanted something more, it's like, are you even putting effort into what you want to do? Like, because I know that, I don't know if Chef Carmen is a millionaire. If she's a millionaire, then Tay shouldn't have to be working at all. But the fact that she have to go back to school and do look for a job for $125 an hour just goes to show me that Chef Carmen is not a millionaire, and they do need both incomes, like most regular people, average couple living two incomes, and that sometimes is not even enough. So I'll follow up with that. But I've listened to them and I heard them and I tuned into them, and they dynamics is appealing to me. I'm interested in their dynamics. Chef Carmen is a little bit more older than Tay, and Tay is not that far behind. She is educated. Carmen is a giver. She is. I watched her since before her last marriage, almost as long as she has been. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Sonny. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm just going to call you Sony. I'll call you Sony Day. That's a pretty name. You can tell that Chef Carmen is a giver. I don't think she is as materialistic as Tay. Tay probably influenced some of her decisions on what to buy and shit, but Carmen is a giver and Tay is a taker. They dipping in the reserves to fight legally some of these attacks. I seen that, and I'm gonna end the live. Before I end the live, I seen that Chef Carmen say that they're gonna do a fundraising because they want to hire a lawyer because of some of the things that's being said about them, and people are slandering their name. I don't know how much they're going to achieve by doing that, or how much of the audience is going to support that. Uh, Raising money to get a lawyer, that's a lot, So it goes to show you that some people are not what they appear to be. And that's how I feel about that. But I am going to look into Darius Cook. We did talk about Miss Kwani and Miss Monroe. I mean, Miss Kwani Monroe and Muffin Plus Five. We did talk about Chef Carmen and Pretty Tight. This is where we at. We talked about a nice, very topics, and I enjoyed you and everyone that came to participate. And I want everyone at this time, if you're still listening, just to say thank you for listening and participating. Sony, please give Bronx the okay to call you Sonny. I'll be like Sony, Sunny. I'm gonna call her Sunny. Thank you. Okay, Sonny, I'm sorry. I'm calling you Sony. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm calling you Sony. Like, I don't know. It's just Sony, Sonny. I'll call you Sonny from this day forward. Okay, Sonny. I would like to thank. Listen, Sonny, I'm gonna put up the thank you note for you coming in, participate, and if you wanna share your recipe, you can share your recipe, and anyone else that want to share their recipe. But we'll just do it along the way and have a great time for the weekend, and we'll come back and resume. Diva is pronounced Sunny, but Sony is okay. Sunny, Sunny. I'm gonna call you Sunny. I'm gonna call you Sunny. Your name is Sunny. I'm gonna call you Sunny. I'll just be like Sony, Sunny. Oh my goodness, everyone! Thank you for coming by and listening in. We had a nice crowd, decent amount of people talking about what we talk about. So everyone have a great weekend, and I want everyone to have a safe weekend. And thank you for listening to my insight and my perspective. Thank you, Miss Diva. I see y'all later. I see y'all Monday, okay? Or I may come back for the weekend and do a late live, sneak up on y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy.